Hi, this is Pamela Meyer, and this is the Spotlight Defying the Business. Actually, one of my favorite definitions of creativity is one that I used in my book, Quantum Creativity, which is a lively awareness of possibilities. We can sometimes literally think of our workplace as a metaphor for the theater, and actually some early sociologists really thought about that, and everything from how we present ourselves to customers is the front of the stage, and sometimes how we behave behind the scenes is the backstage, but also to think about the furnishings and the artwork are the set pieces. And we even use the words drawn from the theater of we do performance evaluations, we play roles, we do a lot of things that in many ways have a direct translation from this metaphor of work being a type of a play. All of these things, in some ways, we can take some inspiration from the theater and the idea of a play, but to think about perhaps being a little more mindful and taking our roles a little more seriously each day at work, if we think about them as, hey, I only have one chance to do this particular performance today, or in this meeting, I want to really show up and be sure I'm engaging my colleagues and bringing out the best in them. And these are some things that actors, for example, in a rehearsal hall take very seriously. So if we think about that same kind of responsibility, taking that same kind of responsibility into the workplace, some pretty exciting things can start to happen. The other lesson in the story, and really in all improv games, is, and you'll probably remember this, is the concept of saying yes and. So this is a key principle of improvisation, and the idea is that we're so socialized to saying yes but, or in English we say yeah but all the time, and meaning we're always thinking about why something can't be done. It's too expensive, it would take too long. But yes and means that we have to accept whatever we're given and build on it. Instead of shutting down the creativity, we keep the creativity flowing. I've had the opportunity to both work with and also study some both well-known and not so well-known media and entertainment companies. I guess there's one other that I also profile in the book that I think some people are familiar with, but it's growing to an international phenomena, and this is called the company called Threadless. And they started out just as a little tiny t-shirt company, actually two guys in a small studio apartment, and they entered a t-shirt contest and they won the contest, and they said, you know, hey, we could really build this if we created a website where people could submit their designs, and then we'll have the community vote on the designs, and then we'll print those t-shirts. Well, they started out with a $1,000 investment, and now they're a $30 million a year company. They've had to keep expanding. They're now in, I think, a 30 or 40,000 square foot big warehouse space. But they do things like at lunchtime, they sometimes have local rock bands come in and play music in the warehouse. They have all kinds of fun activities and social activities for the workforce. So there are a lot of things that this company does to engage its people. But I think one of the things that runs through all of these media companies is they really understand there's a big connection between creativity and innovation and consciously creating the space and engaging people and keeping them loose and agile. And I think that's really important because even though you would think, well, that would come naturally to people in media and entertainment, in fact, it's a very competitive field, and there are lots of big egos, and it's easy for the space and the competition and the pressure to start to constrain creativity. And so being sure that these other things are going on that really create the space and keep people engaged is a really important dimension of their success.